Welcome back to Integration TV, the first English television for Somalis around the world. You know my passion is to tell Somali stories and continue the love that we have for the great nation that not only gave birth to me, but has a heritage link for millions of Somalis that are born outside the country. On today's show, which I thought would be interesting to talk about, is the fact that so many young Somalis around the world are emailing me because for the first time they're connecting back home and they want to learn more about what the experience is like to travel back to Somalia, and also potentially they're going back this summer themselves for the first time. So today I thought we'd bring two young Somali Canadians that are born in Canada but actually went back to Somalia to share their experience. And I'm excited because last summer we conquered Mogadishu with the largest return of young diaspora, and inshallah this summer I'm hoping that we have the biggest return back to my hometown, which is Las Anod, because I'm getting so many hundreds of emails about that, and also Bur'a, Berbera, and Hargeisa, great cities. So welcome, guys. I want to welcome Miriam Jiso to the show. She actually returned to Mogadishu several times, and she says that she loves the fact that she learned how to speak Somali. Hello. Everybody wants to learn that. And then Mohammed Hashi will join us next. He basically went back to Somalia and saw that he could make a difference for this great country. And we're going to learn about his great project that he's going to do in August. Guys, welcome to Integration TV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to first say thank you so much for taking the time to come, and more importantly to say, like, this is amazing that you guys want to share your story because so many Somalis have never gone back to our country. So Mohammed, what was it like the first time you went back?
Honestly, it was a bit of a culture shock at first.
Why?
It was Africa for the first time in my life, so it was a bit shocking at first, seeing the way Somalis interacted and different things, but it was, after like a week or so, you start to see the beauty in the beauty in the beast in some sense, right? Like you get accustomed to it, and
what did you see that was different?
It was very like.
Where did you go first?
I went to Hargeisa.
Hargeisa. Oh, great! I love that city.
Yeah, it was in
it's
Hargeisa.
So big, isn't it?
Yeah, it was big. It was big at first. Yeah, it was kind of surprising, but like it was like just the whole African experience. Animals walking on the street, you know, the way.
You didn't like the camels walking?
No, like you see animals walking on the street, or your dad's driving. My dad's driving. I think we're about to hit the animal or the bumpy roads.
What about you're about to hit the people? People just cross the street randomly.
Yeah, the people as well. So all that really, honking 24/7. I've been to the Middle East before, but Africa was it was a bit like surprising. I'm, whoa, where's the streets? Where's the sidewalks? Like all
what
these
did you
different
find
things.
different in terms of like you being a youth in Somalia compared to a youth in Somalia?
I think it was our views, like the way our characters are completely different. Mm-hmm. Like we're completely, even though we're Somali, we have completely different characteristics, right? The way I conduct myself and the way they conduct themselves. They're Somalis much better than mine, and even the Dakan and everything, the way they are. Mm-hmm. I feel like I was trying to transition and try to be like them in some sense, try to like blend in as much as I could so that they wouldn't make fun of me. Mm-hmm. But that was the major difference. But however, I blended in after a while. It was good.
So Marian, you went back to Mogadishu
Mm-hmm.
and several times,
Yes.
and you learned to speak Somali. Tell us
Yes.
about that experience.
Well,
Did they make fun of you at first?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, when I went there, they would be like, "Oh, you're a Somali diaspora," and I'll hear people kind of talk amongst themselves and say, "She's not from here." But I didn't like to be classified as anything different than Somali. So I mean,
But do you think you are different than other Somalis back home?
Oh, definitely not. No, I'm not any different. I feel like we shouldn't be differentiated. We're all the same. I shouldn't be classified as a Somali diaspora when I go to Somalia. You know what I mean? I'm just a Somali. That's it. And
how about just a tourist?
Why not? I mean, that's kind of the same.
I think we're like tourists back home now.
I know, and it's kind of sad, but unfortunately, that's a sad reality, But obviously, I've been there a couple of times. I went there when I was younger. My father always wanted, me to learn my language and my aptitis and all that. So I've experienced childhood in Somalia and Canada. I was born and raised here. So I can say that it's definitely different. Lifestyle in Somalia is definitely different.
So what's the biggest difference between you and a girl back home? Both having the heritage of Somali.
Well, Somalia is war-torn. So obviously, if you were brought up in Somalia, if you were raised in Somalia, you've seen a lot of, craziness, definitely. But I feel like they're kind of scarred in a way because they've seen people get shot in front of them, hotels being bombed and stuff. So it's definitely different,
Is that the same experience that you would say that people, because Hargeisa has been relatively peaceful in terms of war.
Yeah.
So do you see a different, what do you see different between a guy in Hargeisa and you?
Really, like, they're just, it's mainly the character. We're totally different the way we think and they think. However, the thing is, throughout the age, I think social media and the way the world's becoming, right? They're becoming we're getting more similar as time goes on,
Yes.
right? The way they're dressing now, they dress like me, right? Some of them dress exactly
You don't
like
want to
me.
wear ma'us when you go back home?
Oh, I love the ma'awis. It's just, I really do. But you'll see them trying to dress like us, and I'm just trying to dress like back there. So it's like, if I go out with ma'awis and a dress shirt, and then they'll be wearing jeans and like a jersey, trying to fit into, like, they're trying to become more modern, right? And I did experience that even. Like, I had some conversations with people there, a Cup of Art in different places there. I was in Hargeisa, and like, the guys and the girls there from the people from there will be like, yes, one person told me, us people from Hargeisa, we're actually ahead of style than you North Americans now. So I laughed at that.
I would say so, some parts.
Yeah, they try really hard to become like us. So I think that's the thing, is that they're going through an identity culture trying to come to North America, like become like us. And we're thinking, yo, we're trying to become like you guys. We're
trying
Somali.
to go back,
Yeah,
right?
we're trying to learn our culture. We're not trying to,
Leave the culture.
leave the culture in some sense. So I feel like that was one of the biggest differences between us and them.
So when you went back, Mohammed, you were like, you saw a lot of issues that are happening in the country. What issue did you think that you could make a contribution on?
Well, the biggest thing is I saw a lot of sick people, mentally sick people, and close family, and even random people, just tied to trees and different things. So I felt like the people who are mentally sick and it's a taboo back home. So there's a lot of people there who are mentally sick, and I went with a close friend of mine, and we saw that the situation there was, it wasn't the best, and we thought, when we came back to Canada, we thought maybe we can find ways to give back in some sense. Yeah. So from there, I have an initiative coming on. It's called Run for the Horn, and inshallah, it's happening this August.
Great.
And it's like a run or walk marathon, and the whole point of it, the funds are going to be used to go towards mental health issues back home in Somalia. And mental health hospitals and whatnot back there.
That's great. So you saw an opportunity for contribution, and not just as a tourist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not
because I think a lot of people go back and they flaunt money, and the diaspora has gotten a bad rep back home, guys. So I hope that when you go back to Somalia, whatever region, that you basically be more conscious of the way we act back home, because a lot of times what we're doing is that we're bringing loads of money with us, we're flaunting, we're like acting like we're, I would say, Somali millionaires when we're coming from probably a modest home back in whatever country we came from. Yeah. So a lot of the young people have become resentful, which many of them are actually doing the tahrib thing, which they're trying to become migrants to get this lifestyle. So do you think we've given a bad rep to being a diaspora our own selves, Marian?
You know what? To be honest with you, kind of, sort of. I mean, it depends. I mean, I feel
Are you a Somali millionaire when you go back home?
I mean, I feel like everybody in Somalia sees people from Canada or the States or UK, whatever, as
but
millionaires.
They can tell the differences of Somalis where they come from.
No, for sure. I feel like, it's always important to know your language. I mean, Somali is typically a very, very hard language to learn. But, I mean, I feel like
Did people make fun of you when you were learning it?
Till this day, if I go to Somalia this year, people will still see a difference in the way I speak Somali, even though I personally think I speak it fluently. Obviously, there's like a little bit of error here and there. You can just tell. For example, like if you see someone learning English, or our moms or dads, whatever, trying to speak English, it's not the same as how we would speak it, because we were kind of obviously born or raised here. So, I mean, it's different, and definitely I feel like Somali people should definitely, stick to their culture, stick to obviously, their dhaqan and their religion, and obviously their language, because later on when we have kids, we want to teach our kids our culture, and we want to teach them our language, and we have to actually know our language first. And it doesn't have to be fluent. You don't have to be fluent, but at least try,
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. So Mohammed, thank you so much for taking the initiative to do the run for Somalia, which is kind of amazing, because I think that, by giving contribution, which I believe in volunteerism, you don't need to get funding, you don't need to do anything. You can support your country by becoming a volunteer and doing things that actually give back meaning to your life too, because the more you give,
the more you receive in some sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what advice do you have for the people watching that may want to go back this summer to Somalia?
I think one of the things is, at first it's going to be a tough transition, trying to get involved and whatnot. But once you transition in and get used to the country and like the city you're in, try to find ways to get involved. There's a lot of different places you can go and help. And like the one at Hargeisa, there was a hospital where you can go cut mentally sick people's hair. And there's a lot of different things across the country, right? Where a lot of diaspora are there teaching kids English. And they really do need our help. And it's a good opportunity for you yourself to, it's a humbling experience when you see people less fortunate than you and they're your own family or just your own culture. It really was, the biggest thing is it's humbling and it's good for you're benefiting yourself helping them. I think I learned more from seeing it and helping them out.
Absolutely.
I learned more than what I gave, I feel like, in some
Amazing.
sense. So that's the benefit in giving back, I feel like. So I really recommend anyone who has the opportunity to go back to your country, go wherever you're from, and give back and help them out. Inshallah, it'll be more benefit to you, I think.
Absolutely. And Mary, what do you want to say to close up? What is your advice for people that want to go back to Mogadishu this summer?
I mean, I would say don't be scared, don't worry. I mean, at the end of the day, people there are very friendly. They'll tell you amazing stories, and they kind of find humor in the war too as well. You know what I mean? It is war-torn, but at the same time, they kind of like laugh about it. So definitely, the only thing that you should be worried about is people making fun of you because you don't know Somali, if you don't know Somali. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all that, you'll get accustomed to it. It's all pass. So, definitely go for it.
Did you want to say a few Somali words to people out there?
Somali wa aqana, si fiican u aqana, wana ku hadli karaa. Obviously, you know, I can speak Somali and definitely planning on going again maybe next year, inshallah. Hadu ilahi idno.
I mean, well, thank you so much, guys, for joining our discussion. And I love going back home because I think going back to our roots kind of gives us a new meaning and what it means to be ourselves. Because always we're looking for our identity in the West. Because many Somalis, for the first time, this is the only generation that's been outside of Somalia in different parts of the world. So continue the discussion and continue following our shows from our beautiful country as we bring you more shows from Somalia. Our Hargeisa show, which everyone is anticipating, is coming very soon. So stay tuned for details. And inshallah, I look forward to visiting Bosaso, your getaway, your Galkayo for next season. So contribute to our dream and subscribe right now as we'll see you next time.